Good morning. Another beautiful day in Pennsylvania. Today we're in the Pinchot State Forest. I'm going to do a short loop. It's maybe 5 or 6 miles, 7, and right away we come to a trail log here. If you can see, we parked right here, and we're just a little ways up the Pinchot Trail. We're going to take the Pine Hill Trail, and then I think go up to this dotted one here, which is the Bear Swamp Trail. Or maybe we'll take the Pine Hill Trail up to the observation deck and then continue Pine Hill around this way. Now that I look at the map, I'm not sure, but I think maybe the observation deck, that sounds like something to check out. We're close enough. All right. So today is 9:30. Today is 9:30. Yeah, September 30th. Okay, yeah, I'm thinking Pine Hill Trail is the way to go, and go up to the observation deck, and then west and south and back east and back to the car. It's a beautiful day in Pennsylvania. Today's beauty involves gray skies and supposed to be a lot of cloud cover pretty much all day. But there wasn't any rain in the forecast. Nevertheless, we have some light sprinkling going on and off, sort of threatening rain. All I have today is a poncho and a hat I could put on if I think maybe it will be enough just to keep my head from getting wet. The Pinchot Trail is a 26-mile sort of double loop. You can do the north half or the south half, which are each roughly 13 miles. Or you can do the whole thing, and that's 26 miles. At the parking lot, I met a party of 3 who were getting ready to do the whole 26 miles today and tomorrow. So they're out here for an overnighter. If you follow the Pinchot Trail north from the trailhead, go past where the trail log is, it doesn't take you too long to spot some double blazes, and then just on your left, you'll find a little tent campsite. So we got a fire ring here, and one little spot, you got some rocks there. All right, so it's not, and then you got moss here. It's not terribly flat if you got a large tent. My little bitty tent, I think I could get right in here. I could make that work if I had to. So if you're planning a Pinchot Trail through hike before very long, we should come to the junction with the Pine Hill Trail. And then we're going to take that north while the Pinchot Trail continues, we're up, somewhat eastward. Okay, less than a minute later, I see signage. So we got a trail going down that way. Now, is that Pine Hill? Because it seems like the sign should be here instead of there, but yeah, the orange indicates that the Powder Magazine Trail going this way is part of the Pinchot system. Pine Hill Trail, I guess we do want to go this way. Okay. Yellow blazes, and we see one on that tree right there. Off to our right, we see some forest that you can easily walk through, and it looks like there's good camping over here. Is that a campsite right ahead of us? Let's check it out. And then I thought I saw a bench. Did I see a bench over there? We'll go take a look. All right, so it looks like some camping has definitely occurred here. Got a fire ring, and somebody has left some wood around. Yep. And if you're a hammock camper, this strikes me as a great spot. Looks like you have a lot of options. And this is a pretty healthy looking stand right here, too. So down over here, what have we got? I thought I spotted an actual sort of short bench over here, but maybe that was just a trick of the eye. Okay, I don't see another fire ring, but certainly plenty of room to make camp anyway, if you didn't care about a fire. Looks like there might have been one there at one time. But let's find our way back to the trail. Here's the trail right here. And we'll continue on. So we got double yellow blazes here, and yellow blazes go that way. A trail goes this way, but I don't know if this one is the Frank Gantz trail. And to stay on the Pine Hill Trail, we want to go this way. That seems like what's going on. So we'll go this way. I think it's around 9 a.m. and back there I passed somebody who was looked like had just broken camp and was finishing packing up his pack and ready to get back on the trail. So someone who camped back there last night. He was far enough off the trail that I didn't really get close enough to, sort of make eye contact or say hello. But I couldn't see exactly how to get back to where he camped. So I don't know if he just kind of bushwhacked back there and just found a little stealth spot or what. Well, we've been trudging through the jungle, and so my pants are wet all the way up to the knees, and my shoes are all wet from the wet, brush on both sides. So this is why most hikers don't wear jeans, because once they get wet, they don't dry easily. They also have a tendency to wick, which is basically water traveling up through the fabric and expanding. So we got a clearing right here. Okay, we got a pretty wide forest road here, or old logging road rather. And then What's this over here? Looks like a major clearing. Okay, so this is the Bear Swamp Trail, and it looks like it goes that way and also this way. Now I had in mind to take it, but let's see, Boundary Line Trail. Boundary Line Trail. I better take a look at the map here, see where I am in relation to the observation tower, because I thought I was heading toward it. Oh, it looks like when we turned left back there at the Frank Gantz Trail sign, I thought that that would keep us on the Pine Hill Trail because of the yellow blazes, but it actually took us along the Frank Gantz Trail. That being the case, I think we want to take the, since we took the Frank Gantz Trail by accident, and this is the Bear Swamp Trail, I think maybe we should take it and go that way, and then we'll be able to follow Pine Hill Road to get over to the observation deck. The Bear Swamp Trail. Sounds like something that would be jungly, but no, the Frank Gantz Trail was jungly, but this is wide and pretty flat. Here's a big clearing, and looks like we just continue on. So this is obviously an old logging road. This is the first stream that I've come to so far on this hike. Logging roads are quite ubiquitous in these forests, and most of them are defunct and grass covered or otherwise overgrown. I believe most of them were built about a century ago in sometime between, say, 1900 and 1930, which I think was the period where it was discovered that the dominant tree in these forests, the American chestnut, which ranged throughout Appalachia, had been afflicted by a blight to which they had no resistance, that came, I think, from a fungus that managed to come overseas, accidentally introduced to the forest, and this blight was spreading rapidly and killing American chestnut trees. So a decision was made by someone, perhaps the U.S. Department of Agriculture, U.S. Department of the Interior, if they even existed yet, to try to get out and harvest as many American chestnuts as possible while they were still healthy and before they were killed off by the blight, because otherwise, what a huge waste of the not only timber resource, but the chestnuts that they produced. So a frenzied effort to access the various forests through constructing these roads got underway, and most of the roads did not continue to be used for travel through the forest after that. So we have the traces of a whole bunch of these throughout Appalachia. All right, now we're coming to the Pine Hill Trail. Looks like it's also going to be a nice cruisy logging road. Okay, so that was the end of the Bear Swamp Trail. We came from that way. Pine Hill Trail. Looks like it goes down there, and it should meet the Pinchot Trail. And then we go this way, east, and we should see... Now, the trail doesn't go right to the observation deck, according to the map, but I'm assuming that we'll see a sign where we turn right off the trail to go over to the observation deck. There's not a lot of elevation change here. We haven't had any ascents or descents. Hardly any hills at all so far It's been incredibly mild hiking. And I guess we'll take it and just enjoy the burgeoning fall colors starting to appear. Is that the right word? Burgeoning? I don't really know what the verb to burgeon means. Do you? I'm intrigued by this unmarked path. It goes up to that rock. And then I don't see a whole lot of trees beyond, so I wonder if there's something to see up here. Let's take this little detour and just go up to this rock and see what we see. Interesting. Well, this is interesting up here. We have this just rocky sort of table. This is kind of a neat little hideaway, though. Oh, there it is right there. I was wondering if somebody had built a fire here. Yeah. Hard to imagine somebody actually camping here. Tent, I would say forget it. Unless you've got some kind of padding and you can put your tent on top of it. But right over here, this doesn't look good. Over there, possibly, but nothing is flat enough, I wouldn't think. And I don't see any place that you could hang a hammock. So I think probably this has just been a hangout spot for whoever has built a fire here. Interesting. So it is off the Pine Hill Trail. Good luck finding it. It's off of the north. You turn north off the trail. I guess you just have to spot that little unmarked path like I did. Yellow blaze and a red blaze. And then over here to the left, yellow blaze and a red blaze. So yellow should be Pine Hill Trail. I don't know what the red is. There's another red. There's a yellow down here. And we're coming to a gate. And what is happening at the gate? We've also got a double blaze there. I expect that's going to tell us that we should veer off into the forest. Yeah. It's telling us, hey, heads up. The Pine Hill Trail goes that way. And what do we have down here? I don't know. I see a workman behind that tree right there, but I don't want to intrude. So, looks like some work is going on there. And back into the forest we go. And now we'll keep a lookout for a sign that tells us how to get to the observation deck. Looks like we got just a little bit of a climb here. First climb of the day of any import at all. Lots of boulders over here. And look, we come to a drivable gravel road. Maybe that is the way to get to the observation deck. Maybe you can drive up there. I hear voices over there. The Pine Hill Trail continues this way. I have a feeling the observation deck is up there. So indeed, we have to head up this gravel road about a quarter mile, I guess. So I looked at the map and saw that, yeah, it looked like we needed to take a right on this road, turning roughly westward or northwest. And then I heard those voices, which was a group of hikers, about 6 or 7 people coming down the hill. So I asked them how far it is, and they said about a quarter mile. So up we go. It's not too steep, not too bad. And it'll be nice when we cruise back down it. Since that group is just coming down from it, maybe we'll have the place to ourselves. Well, let's see. Some rocks over there. And oh, here it is right here. Oh, well, that wasn't a quarter mile. No, that's much less. Much less. I'm not even sure that was 1/10 of a mile. That wasn't far at all. And I imagine this is just a road that loops around. Tell you what, before we go up on the deck and take a look, which ought to be a better view, let's go down here and see what we can see. Okay, no, there's no view. Just a circular drive, and all you see is these trees here. You can see that around here the trees aren't very tall, and this whole area seems to be at around 2,000 or 2,100 feet, pretty much the highest in the vicinity. So the Pinchot Trail, it looks like it is built mainly on high ground, and it doesn't look like it has many ascents and descents. So, and the Pinchot State Forest pamphlet describes it as mostly easy to moderate hiking. So it's really hard to find an easy trail in Pennsylvania, and so if indeed it is as mild as what we've been doing for 26 miles, that'd be a great choice for beginners. Okay. Continue up to the top. All right. So here's our view. Quite overcast today, so if it weren't for that, could you see really far? Well, I don't know. It looks like still you would only be able to see as far as, those ridges over there. What you could see in that direction, I don't know. That direction is mostly to the south of this tower. So let me see what lies to the south of us. Bear Lake would be a little bit more that way, so I don't think we can see that at all. But I wonder if you could on a clear day. Bear Lake should be in that direction and over that hill. So yeah, I'd say it's only about 1/10 of a mile off of the Pine Hill Trail to come up to the observation deck. So I would definitely recommend it. When we get back to the Bear Swamp Trail to the south of us, we'll take a left and take it over to the Pinchot Trail, and then take a right on Pinchot and follow it back to the car. All right, I think this is the double blazes there. Show you that, yeah, Pine Hill Trail north goes that way. That's where we came from, and south to the right here. So we're going this way. All right, we've been gently descending on Pine Hill Trail, and this big old logging road here looks like it's probably Bear Swamp Trail. There's no sign, but I'm pretty sure that's what we've got here. So we're going to go this way. So we could take Pine Hill back like that, and it would come back to the intersection of the Frank Gantz Trail, where we had missed that turn, and then it would go sort of that way and find its way back to the Pinchot Trail. But if we go this way, we'll also hit the Pinchot Trail, and then we can take a right and then soon come to the intersection with Pine Hill, and then retrace our way back to the parking lot. And it's maybe it's a half a mile or so from that point back to the car. So that's the plan. I think this is the mildest hiking that I've ever done in Pennsylvania. The only one I can think of maybe that had fewer elevation changes was the Old Horse Trail in Simon B. Elliott State Park. But other than that, when you're hiking in Pennsylvania, you can pretty well expect you're going to be doing some up and down. It's getting a little squishy right here. The red leaves on the ground are really pretty because the undersides are pink. This looks like somebody sprinkled a bunch of rose petals from my path. Pittston Road. Yeah, so as you can see, we have reached the end, probably the end of the Bear Swamp Trail. Now we want to go this way. This is Powder Magazine Trail, but it's part of the Pinchot Trail, and you can see an orange blaze down there. And this way takes us south back to the car, so we'll take Pinchot the rest of the way. If you were going this other way on the Pinchot Trail, you would come and you would see these double blazes here to give you a heads up, and it looks like you probably continued that way. Let's just confirm that. See what this signage says. Yeah, so it looks like you go down that way. Oh, or maybe you take a left here. Let's see. All right, so that's called the Crossing Trail. Pittston Road. Yeah, given the positioning of the blazing there, I would say that you would be coming from behind us here, going south on the Pinchot Trail. So I guess it continues that way, but of course, with this sort of brush on both sides, you can't see a blaze anywhere. Okay, so this leg is called the Powder Magazine Trail and is part of the Pinchot Trail system. Back into the jungle. So there's your orange blaze. Now, that's a pretty light orange. Another one over here. That almost looks yellowish, but that happens sometimes. The particular shade of paint doesn't always match from blaze to blaze or portion to portion. Whoa, look at this. Can you tell there's a trail through there? Here we go. The blazing on this trail is pretty good and pretty frequent. See, there's a blaze right there, and then there's one even right there. So when you come out of the thickest part of the jungle, maybe if you're going this direction, be on the lookout for this little path, because if you go back here, there's a campsite. So here is a fire ring. Here's some wood that some people have left. And yeah, you got this clearing here. This doesn't look ideal for tents, depending on what you've got, but I guess because it's not terribly flat, it's nice and soft. Hammock campers, what do you think? Can you make any of those trees work? Or these here look pretty close together, and so I don't know. Well, continuing on south. Back to the trail and take a right. So that campsite is located between 0.1 and 0.2 miles south of Pittston Road. And if you're going south, then you would look for it on your right. Thank you, trail maintainers, for the frequent blazing. Only the second stream we've come to today. And we have to cross it on the rocks. We recognize this spot even though we didn't see it from this angle before. Those two signs there, let's see, it's going to say, what do they each say? One of them says Pine Hill Trail goes that way. And the other one probably says Powder Magazine Trail. Yeah, okay. Powder Magazine Trail, Pine Hill Trail. Pine Hill Trail goes that way, and that's what we did earlier. And so we're back to this junction. So now we are retracing our steps down the Pinchot Trail. And I think we'll stop by the trail log again, make another entry. And then shortly after that, we find ourselves back to the car. So I'm thinking it's only a quarter mile or less to go. Stopping back at the trail log to add to my entry. Now, I put in an entry before saying I was going up to the observation deck and then west and south to make a loop. But I did this instead. So I drew a map of what I did. And since I made my earlier entry, I see CW, TF, AM, RM, RC, and BS signed in and said headed in for a night in the woods. So that was probably the group that I passed coming down from the observation tower as I was coming up. I guess they're doing an overnighter. Have fun. Okay, so close this up. It doesn't latch, but there we go. This was a nice little loop, not demanding at all, quite mild. Maybe the mildest hike I've ever taken in Pennsylvania. So if you're looking, want to come to Pinchot State Forest and you're looking for a loop that you can do in a few hours that's not too demanding, and we see cars right ahead of us. So yes, we are just about to the parking lot. So that about does it for this hike. For our next adventure, we will be somewhere. So I hope you'll join us. See you then. Thanks for watching.